contested over 3 2-minute rounds. Your first fighter making his walk from the blue corner from Parent Gym, making his pro debut tonight. Would you welcome Jacub ZLOTEK? From the red corner, representing KO Next Generation. Making another appearance in the professional ranks tonight at home in London. Give it up for Bradley HEASON.
So Bradley HEASON making the walk tonight to take on a very tough debutant, Jacub ZLOTEK. Parent Gym versus KO Next Gen. That's the matchup on the main event tonight. Malcolm, a great local inter-London rivalry.
That's right, Chris, and it's been such a high standard tonight, and I don't expect it to be any different here in this bout. I mean, yes, Jacub's making his pro debut, but he has had amateur contests, so, and as you said again, with a very good gym, so I wouldn't expect him to be overawed here. Bradley has that one pro fight. Not much, you look at them both here, not much between them at all. And again, C-class Muay Thai, 3 2-minute rounds as we edge ever closer to our 2 big main events here tonight.
So HEASON there in the red corner, ZLOTEK in the blue. Pete Richardson in charge, C-class Muay Thai, 3 2-minute rounds. Chris Hoekstra on the call, Malcolm Martin along for the ride. HEASON, 24 years of age actually. Loves that Thai style. Watch out for all the really sneaky redirects and crafty fighting, but big punches here, not a slow start. That is not Thai style.
No, and he's from that southpaw stance, which means that booms that left leg in. Brings him into vicinity of Jacub's right hand, but it's worked for him so far. Works the inside of the lead leg of Jacub ZLOTEK. And keeping the pressure on, Chris. As you said, a fast start for a Thai fight, and it's Bradley that's keeping the pressure on his opponent here from the center of the ring.
Solid kicks from both guys, but beat him to that kick with the body kick so far is HEASON.
Well, as you saw, Chris, he checked that right roundhouse kick and throws his own big left kicks from the southpaw stance. And again, just works the inside and the outside of the lead leg of Jacub. And sometimes it's nice to slip there just about to throw. Sometimes it's nice just to work your way in like that. And we've seen it before where you play it hitting the lower kicks and then you bring the big booming roundhouse up over the top. So a good start from the red corner for me.
And often in that open stance, we've seen it a couple of times. You'll see fighters attack the body with the power or the inside leg with the power. HEASON doing just that a couple of times very effectively, and even off the check. So more or less a glorified K1 rules bout here. C-class Muay Thai, though, is the rule set. So they will be allowed clinching, but without all the luxuries of the full rules, i.e. the knees and elbows to the face.
Well, at the moment, Chris, as you said, neither man wanting to do that. And that was perfectly timed. Both went to kick, and that was a really strong rear leg roundhouse from Bradley HEASON. But they've been happy to fight in the center of the ring. As you said, virtually, that could have been a K1 opening round.
So, 2 minutes in, ZLOTEK kind of a little hesitant, a little bit of a feeling out process, but Bradley HEASON going out there, putting a stamp of authority on it from the get-go.
I think so. I think this is quite straightforward. I mean, there was moments from Jacub, don't get me wrong, but what Bradley did well is he took center here most of the time, and he's looking to boom in that left leg roundhouse. Stays out of range of the replies, and as you said, he'll throw the little kicks inside and outside, looking to get the big left hand or left roundhouse off. And he was successful with it most of the time. I think Jacub, not so cautious second round for me. He's got to come out more confident, because when he did put pressure on, he looked very good. But for me, Bradley overall in control of that opening round.
So 2 of 3 here, touch of gloves. And HEASON looking to really put that pressure on right away. As we saw in round 1, a mirror image here, Malcolm, the start of the frame. Kicking again there though, Jacub looking really solid. It was the same weapon he got caught with early in the first round. He's going back double time to the body a moment ago, landing cleanly.
Well, the thing is with Jacub though, and it's rightly so, he has to push forward. Now, he does risk that big left hand and left leg, but he's doing the right thing. He's got to come and engage with Bradley, because, as you rightly said, Bradley took that first round by the scruff of the neck and kept control. Jacub has to wrest that away from him.
Some good knees there. A lot more activity from ZLOTEK. He clearly got a talking to in the corner. And you know what I like about this? He's using all of the techniques of Muay Thai. It's important that the judges will be looking for the boxer who's using more of those Muay Thai weapons on target to win the rounds.
Well,
And
what he's done, Chris, sorry to interrupt there, what he's done is, by putting the pressure on Bradley, he's taken away a part of his arsenal there. When it was at range and Bradley was initiating the whole time, he looked absolutely superb because he was initiating everything. What Jacub's done is he stepped in and suddenly decided, let's see how good you are under pressure. Now, I'm not saying he's totally taken control of the round, but he's made it far more competitive now.
So landing those techniques and landing them with power, which will be important as well. What you're looking for is to show noticeable effect on the other fighter. And he's done that. He's got to make this a strong round, because I think on my scorecard he was down 10-9 in the first.
I agree totally, Chris, but what he's done this second round is step forward and he's made that right hand far more dangerous. So a very different second round. Now, I'm not saying that Bradley HEASON didn't do well in that round, but the change of tactics by Jacub really worked for him. The way he pushed forward the whole time, and was constantly working. So when Bradley came in the first round, Jacub would back off. By staying with him and pushing forward, he made it a far more competitive round.
And for me, it was interesting to see kind of the decision making. He just all of a sudden switched on. And you got to ask yourself, was that because of the corner? Was that because of his realization, okay, I've got my opponent's timing and rhythm down? A lot of things to look for. What do you see being the difference there, though?
I think, obviously, you'd like to think good corner work. He's with a good gym, would look and say, you know, what Bradley had in the first round was everything his own way. Everything he wanted to do, he was allowed to do. Jacub backed off, so Bradley had centre ring, and he's got good technique, and he's got good tools of the trade. So I think what the corner said to him was step in, stay with him. And then Jacub began to use his own right hand to good effect. Now, he may have shared the round. I'm not saying he took the round cleanly, but it was far more competitive.
So another round here, and a very motivated entrance from both individuals. HEASON taking on ZLOTEK. Both guys really pushing the pace here, Malcolm.
Well, this is the difference. Bradley HEASON, that was a superb combination, left and right to the body in the big right roundhouse. But Jacub immediately then stepped in to do his own work. He's turning off that centre line now. He's slipping and coming straight back. He's just made it from the beginning of round 2 far more competitive.
Lunging left hook there from ZLOTEK. Throw away a couple of punches there to a high point roundhouse kick. Good stuff there from HEASON. I like that. He's got to show kind of false maneuvers, because ZLOTEK is really aggressive, and one of the ways to catch out a guy who's being aggressive is to kind of give him something you're actually not going to commit to and then catch him.
He's far better when he's at range like that. As you saw, as you rightly said, those two punches were just the setup for the big left roundhouse, and he landed it. when he's here in the center ring dictating play, he looks so, so good. What Jacub's got to do is just this step in and work.
HEASON's breathing hard here. He dumps him down, but you've also got to ask yourself, this fight has been a sprint the whole time. Not an awful lot of ring time when you consider 6 minutes as a whole, but if you've done it and you've gone in there and thrown hands and feet and knees, it's exhausting. Good evasion there from HEASON.
I agree with you totally, Chris, but I think both men are feeling the pace now, and for me, after a very good second round from Jacub, Bradley HEASON is doing just the right thing here to be shading this round for me. As Jacub comes forward again, and look at the way Jacub backed up for the first time because of that big left round kick. Still bringing in the knee, he's still working hard. And I say that and he goes and proves me wrong by pushing forward. What a great bout, Chris.
And both guys have brought the very best out of each other in this one. They turned the screw, they put the pressure on. Their corners were screaming for both guys to gun for the finish. 3 rounds in the books, Malcolm. How do you see it? I think it comes down to that last round.
I agree with you, Chris. I think Bradley HEASON, no doubt, took the opening round. Now, Jacub, for me, it's whether he took the second or it was drawn, because the third was very close. I had the first minute of that third round, Bradley HEASON. It's how we saw the second minute when Jacub came back strongly. This one is on a knife edge again, as many of the bouts have been here tonight. A number of the bouts here this evening has taken us to split or majority decisions, and this one could do the same. That shows very, very good matchmaking.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 rounds in the books for ZLOTEK and HEASON. Once more, Bradley HEASON and Jacub ZLOTEK, your 2 fighters here tonight. We're technically allowed to 2 youngsters with very bright futures indeed. However, after 3 rounds, the judges have unanimous decision. All 3 judges ringside see the contest in favor of your fighter in the red corner.
That dominant first round, I think, was absolutely vital. With that in the bag, he only had to get one of the other 2. Great bout again, though.